Welcome to Workday Learning, Manage Learning Completions. In this session, we'll explore completion statuses and how grading and attendance in blended courses reflect learning content consumption. We'll also review how to manage a completion on behalf of a learner. Let's get started. A completion status is a key metric in Workday Learning that tracks a learner's progress and engagement with a piece of learning content. Workday assigns every learning activity a learner enrolls in or starts a completion status. This status displays on the My Transcript report. Let's break down the three types of completion statuses. The Not Started status signifies the learner's intent to consume the learning content through self-enrollment or a mass enrollment. The In Progress status indicates that the learner is actively engaging with the content, but has yet to fulfill the completion requirements. And the Completed status demonstrates that the learner has completed all mandatory learning content items and met any grading and attendance benchmarks, satisfying the learning content requirements. Understanding these completion statuses is essential for both learners and administrators to track progress, identify areas needing attention, and ensure successful completion of learning objectives. When creating learning content, the fields you select directly influence how Workday calculates the completion status. For example, standalone lessons, digital courses, and blended courses with only on-demand content automatically transition to a completed status once the learner consumes all the material. However, blended courses with instructor-led or training activity lessons may require additional information, such as attendance and grade results, to calculate the completion status. Therefore, Workday recommends that you are intentional about the fields you select. The Make Lesson Mandatory field, found in course lessons and program content, indicates whether Workday Learning requires a learning content item for course completion. If a learning content item isn't mandatory and the learner doesn't complete it, the learning content can still move to a completed status. The Track Attendance and Track Grades checkboxes, found in instructor-led and training activity course lessons, activates any attendance and grading requirements. If selected, the learner must meet these requirements, which a learning trainer or administrator manually enters. Each organization determines the learning content's attendance and grading requirements for completion. The Require Successful Completion and Recognize Previous Completion checkboxes influence program completions. The Require Successful Completion option designates a program item mandatory. The Recognize Previous Completion option considers prior learning content completions. This allows you to recognize all past completions or only those learners achieve by a specific date or within a defined date range. Configure these fields carefully to accurately track learner progress and align with your organization's learning objectives. Moving right along, let's discuss grading and attendance. Blended courses with instructor-led or training activity lessons that require grading and attendance for completion rely on the Manage Grading and Attendance functionality. When these types of courses require grading and attendance, you must manually enter this information before the completion status will update from In Progress to Completed. A learning trainer or administrator enters the learner's attendance and grades, carefully evaluating whether these results meet your organization's specific requirements for completion. This process ensures accurate tracking of learner progress and maintains the integrity of your learning content. I'll illustrate this concept with an example. Julia Brandt recently completed all the required content in the Sales Protocol course. However, her completion status remains in progress. Charlotte Ryan, the instructor for Julia's course offering, needs to complete the required attendance and grading fields for the instructor-led components. To begin, Charlotte Ryan navigates to the Manage Grading and Attendance task and selects the relevant course offering. She then selects Julia Brandt from the In Progress grid and selects OK. From the Manage Grading and Attendance page, Charlotte notices two tabs. Charlotte selects the Lessons tab. This course contains 2 instructor-led lessons, a virtual classroom, and a training activity. Therefore, Charlotte needs to enter results for both lessons before determining the overall grade for the course. For the virtual classroom lesson, Charlotte manually enters Julia's attendance and grading results in the Enrolled grid. She then selects the Training Activity tab. Since Julia received full credit for her efforts, Charlotte selects the Mark All as Attended and Mark All as Passed checkboxes to autofill the information. For the remaining fields, Charlotte manually enters Julia's score, completion date and time, and assessor information. She enters a comment in the Comments text box and then selects the Manage Attachment button, which is specific to training activity lessons. After she drags and drops Julia's completed checklist rubric, she selects Done. Charlotte then navigates back to the Overall Grade tab. Charlotte completes the necessary attendance and grading fields and selects OK, satisfying the course completion requirements. From Julia Brandt's My Transcript Reports Learning History grid, Julia notices her course completion status updated to completed. When Julia navigates to the course page, she observes her completion status and the View Course Again button. This allows Julia to review course material without affecting her completion status. If the learner didn't meet the completion requirements, the Retake Course button displays, which resets the learner's completion status. In the Lesson Outcomes Available section, Julia selects the Sales Pitch Demonstration link, then the Lesson Details button. From here, she can review the lesson outcome details, such as the attached checklist rubric and comments. This provides valuable feedback and insights into her performance. Now you may wonder, what happens when learning content fails to track? There are various reasons that can prevent completion statuses from updating, even when learners fulfill all requirements, including corrupted files and connectivity issues. To address this, you can manually force completions for learners. However, it's crucial to remember that you can only amend results for courses with not started or in progress statuses. Once a completion status changes to completed, you can't alter it. This highlights the importance of proactively monitoring completion statuses and taking timely action to address any discrepancies. You also must enter any grading and attendance results using the Manage Grading and Attendance task before running this process. To give you a better understanding, let's return to our example. When Julia completes the Sales Knowledge course, she experiences a connectivity issue. Therefore, her completion status fails to update. Deborah Simpson will manage Julia's enrollment completion by updating the completion status. To begin, Deborah navigates to the Sales Knowledge course and selects the Enrollments tab to locate Julia's enrollment. She selects the Julia Brandt Sales Protocol link to review her course lesson tracking results. The Welcome to Sales lesson is not started, so Deborah selects the Manage Completion button. On the Manage Enrollment Completion page, Deborah scrolls down to the Course Tracking grid. In the Tracking Status column, she selects the completed option for the Welcome to Sales lesson and then enters a corresponding completion date and time. Lastly, Deborah verifies the information by selecting the Confirm checkbox and then OK. Deborah navigates back to the Course Enrollments tab to verify the completion. Managing completions efficiently ensures accurate tracking and reporting of learner progress, so you can meet your business objectives. In this session, we've learned how completion statuses track learning content consumption. We've also reviewed the process of managing grades and attendance and how to manually manage completions when necessary. Thank you for taking the time to learn with Workday.